The tension was palpable as Keanu Reeves faced a room full of liberal reporters on live television, known for their relentless criticism and sharp questions. The atmosphere was charged, with many expecting Keanu to stumble under the pressure. Instead, what unfolded was a masterclass in calm, composed, and powerful rebuttal. Keanu exposed a shocking hypocrisy within the group, an inconsistency that left the reporters speechless and the audience captivated. This was not just a verbal victory. It was a moment that challenged the very narratives the reporters had long pushed. How did Keanu turn the tables so dramatically? The story begins now. The liberal reporters, known for their aggressive questioning and ideological rigidity, started with a barrage of pointed inquiries aimed at Keanu Reeves. They challenged his views on social issues, expecting to catch him off guard or force a slip-up. But Keanu remained unflustered, listening patiently before delivering thoughtful, articulate responses. As the questions grew more accusatory, Keanu's tone shifted subtly, calm but firm. He began highlighting contradictions in the reporters' own statements, exposing instances where their actions failed to align with their proclaimed values. His critiques were sharp yet respectful, delivered with a humility that made his points even more impactful. The reporters, taken aback by his poise and insight, struggled to maintain their composure. The audience watched in stunned silence, witnessing a rare moment where a celebrity not only defended himself, but held his critics accountable with undeniable grace and intelligence. Keanu took a deliberate pause, allowing the weight of his previous remarks to settle. Then, with quiet authority, he addressed the core hypocrisy that had been simmering beneath the surface. "It is easy to speak loudly and judge harshly when one's own actions escape scrutiny," he said. "But integrity requires consistency, not just in words but in deeds." Drawing from recent examples, he pointed out how some reporters championed causes publicly while privately contradicting those very principles. His observations were backed by facts and first-hand accounts, leaving little room for denial. The liberal reporters exchanged uneasy glances, their carefully constructed narratives unraveling piece by piece. Keanu's approach was neither confrontational nor dismissive. It was a powerful invitation to reflect and hold oneself accountable. The audience, caught between shock and admiration, saw in Keanu a figure not just of celebrity but of moral courage. The reporter, struggling to regain control, launched a defensive counterattack, accusing Keanu of being out of touch and avoiding the real issues. The room grew tense as voices raised and interruptions began. Yet Keanu remained unshaken, his voice calm but resolute. "Engaging in meaningful dialogue requires listening as much as speaking," he responded. "It is not about winning arguments but about seeking truth and understanding." He then shared stories of his own journey, moments when he confronted his own biases, learned from others, and chose empathy over division. His vulnerability disarmed many of the reporters, forcing a shift in tone from confrontation to reflection. The audience sensed a genuine desire for progress, and the energy in the studio softened. As the segment neared its conclusion, Keanu delivered a powerful closing statement that transcended political divides, a call for honesty, humility, and unity that left everyone, including his critics, momentarily speechless. Keanu's closing statement was delivered with a calm intensity that captivated everyone present. "We live in a world divided by ideology and opinion," he began, "where voices often shout past one another instead of seeking common ground. But true progress comes from humility, acknowledging our flaws, listening with an open heart, and striving for understanding." His words cut through the usual noise of partisan rhetoric, resonating deeply with viewers and the studio audience alike. He challenged not only the reporters, but all viewers to reflect on their own biases and to seek truth beyond headlines and sound bites. "It is not enough to point fingers or cast blame," Keanu continued. "We must also look inward and be willing to change. That is the real courage." The studio was silent, the impact of his message settling over everyone like a profound revelation. Social media exploded with praise as clips of Keanu's articulate and heartfelt plea went viral. For a moment, political divisions seemed to fade in the face of genuine call for unity and honesty. But as the cameras prepared to cut, One reporter attempted a final question, one that promised to reignite the tension. The reporter's final question was sharp and pointed, designed to unsettle. "Mr. Reeves, do you truly believe that honesty and unity can exist in today's divisive media landscape? Or is it just an idealistic dream?" The room tensed, waiting for Keanu's response. Without hesitation, Keanu met the challenge head-on. "I believe it is not only possible but necessary," he said firmly. "Change begins with each of us choosing to rise above division, to engage with respect and openness, even when it is difficult." He emphasized that while the media landscape is fraught with challenges, individuals have the power to influence conversations and bridge gaps. Keanu's calm conviction resonated, deeply inspiring many to reconsider their approach to dialogue and discourse. The reporters, momentarily disarmed, exchanged glances, their tactics diffused by Keanu's unwavering integrity. As the segment drew to a close, Keanu left the audience with a final, powerful thought, a call to action that would echo long after. The cameras stopped rolling. Keanu's voice softened but remained resolute as he delivered his final message. "We all have a responsibility to foster understanding in a world often divided by fear and mistrust. It starts with listening, not just to agree, but to truly hear, and responding with kindness rather than judgment." He looked directly into the camera, reaching out to millions watching at home. "If we each commit to this, we can transform the narrative from one of conflict to one of connection." The studio was silent, moved by the sincerity and hope in his words. Social media erupted with support, viewers sharing clips and sparking conversations about empathy and unity. Even some reporters nodded, acknowledging the depth of his message. Keanu's humility and wisdom transcended the usual political battles, offering a glimpse of what could be possible if people chose to embrace honesty and respect. As the segment concluded, the atmosphere shifted from confrontation to contemplation, a testament to the power of genuine dialogue. The final moments of the segment saw Keanu reinforcing his vision for a more compassionate media landscape. "It is easy to get lost in the noise," he said. "But we must remember that behind every headline and soundbite are real people, with real stories and struggles. Let us strive to tell those stories with truth and empathy." He called upon both journalists and viewers to hold themselves to higher standards of fairness, respect, and integrity. His words resonated deeply, inspiring many to reflect on their own roles in shaping public discourse. The room was filled with a sense of hope and renewed purpose, a stark contrast to the typical heated exchanges that dominate live television. As the cameras prepared to cut, the producers thanked Keanu for his courage and grace, marking the end of a segment that would be remembered for its honesty and heart. In the days following the broadcast, Keanu's message continued to ripple across social media and news outlets. Fans and critics alike praised his ability to challenge narratives with kindness and clarity. Conversations sparked about the need for more empathy and honesty in media coverage, and many expressed a renewed hope for meaningful dialogue in a fractured world. Journalists reflected on the impact of Keanu's words, some reconsidering their approach to interviews and reporting. Viewers shared stories of how the segment inspired them to engage more thoughtfully with opposing viewpoints, emphasizing listening over arguing. Keanu's calm and poised dismantling of hypocrisy became a case study in humility and strength, a reminder that sometimes the most powerful voice is the one that speaks with truth and compassion. Keanu closed the conversation with a heartfelt appeal. Let us be the change we wish to see. When we choose compassion over division, understanding over judgment, and truth over sensationalism, we build a better world for ourselves and future generations. His words echoed far beyond the studio, inspiring millions to reflect and act. The segment ended not with conflict, but with hope, an invitation to rise above hypocrisy and embrace honesty. Keanu Reeves had not only defended himself but had challenged an entire system, leaving a lasting legacy of grace, courage, and integrity. Please subscribe channel for Keanu Reeves. Respect, thanks.